Every morning, just as the sun touched the sea, he carried 2 chairs to the water's edge, one for himself, and one for the woman who no longer came, but whose place in his heart had never been empty. She noticed the chairs before she noticed him, 2 seats facing the sunrise, yet only one was ever occupied. She wondered what story lived inside the silence of the other. Morning after morning, their paths crossed. At first, there was only a glance, then a quiet nod, then the smallest smile, the kind that asks for nothing, but somehow stays with you all day. In the end, it was the wind that introduced them. It carried his newspaper toward the sea and placed it gently in her path. When she returned it, their first words were ordinary, but some beginnings arrived disguised as ordinary moments. He rested his hand on the faded cream chair and finally told her the truth. It had belonged to his wife. They had watched countless summer mornings from that very spot. Until one summer, he came alone. She did not offer pity. She simply listened and made space for the love that had existed before her. Then she offered him a piece of her own heart. She spoke of a marriage that had slowly become a life she no longer recognized, of leaving after many years, of learning that freedom can feel lonely before it begins to feel like home. And he listened, without trying to repair what had already made her stronger. Several mornings later, she returned carrying a chair of her own. She did not take the empty seat. She did not ask him to move the past aside. She placed her chair beside his, as if to say, "I am not here to replace what you loved. I am only here to sit beside you now." And so, summer found a new rhythm. Coffee before the town awakened, quiet laughter above the sound of the waves, stories shared slowly, without promises or demands. Love did not arrive like lightning. It arrived like morning, gently, faithfully, one day at a time. One evening, he placed wildflowers on the cream chair, not as a final goodbye, but as a tender thank you for every summer that had come before. When she reached for his hand, she did not pull him away from the past. She simply let him know he did not have to walk into the future alone. At sunrise, 3 chairs still faced the sea. One held a beautiful memory. 2 held the beginning of something new. Perhaps love after loss is not about starting over. Perhaps it is about discovering that the heart can remember and still make room for tomorrow.